What I'll be covering here will be the process of creating purchase orders, and the name of the page is FPAPURR. So if you get to remember that name, it's gonna be easier to access. So for that, you have to have some requirements to fulfill. One of those is you need to have org authorization. You need to the org you're gonna be using to create the PO. You need to be authorized, and that's done by fiscal services. Also, you need a user code. Again, that's fiscal services area. And it just defines a code assigned to your account to create the POs. You need a finance profile, and that's again something done in fiscal services. Also, what we've seen the approvals. Every document, by document I mean POs, vouchers, etc. They are routed to the approval process. So your supervisors, or other people, they need to authorize the POs so they can go through the system. Of course, to create a PO, you need available funds. For that, we will see in the form called SGA bubble. There you can see the what's the actual amount you have on hand and that you can use for the PO. Once you complete the PO, you won't be able to open it again, but you can query the PO. For that, we have the FPIPURR form. Here is the main banner screen. Here, where you type the name of the forms or pages, in this case, FPAPURR, to create POs. For new POs, you don't need to enter anything on the purchase order box. You just hit go. By pressing go, you go ahead and create a new PO. See, here's the next screen. You see where it says purchase order. We have next. So that means that we're now working on a new PO. Right in the middle, you have some tabs. At this moment, we're placed on the document information tab. We see the delivery date, which is a required field, and we see the buyer code, the one I was talking about before. So in order to proceed to the next tab, we need those two fields entered. And then right below at the bottom, you see that button, that's next block button or next page. So if we hit that, we move to the requester delivery information tab. And here we need to enter the organization, the org I was talking about. And you need to have access to that org in order to continue or to use it. And then it has the information here, which is stored in the finance profile. You see it here, so it's there. So we go next page. Now we're on the vendor information tab. So here we enter the vendor information. This case, I enter myself, but you can have other vendors. Again, if they're in the finance systems configured as vendor, you will be able to see their information here. The next block, we're at the commodity/accounting area. See, in the commodity, we need to enter the description, the unit/measure. In this case, is each. The tax group, that's automatic. You don't have to enter, it's there. Quantity, how many units? 10 in this case. The unit price, that's $10.85. So once you enter all that information, right below you'll see totals. The extended amount, which is $10.85 times 10, the tax, and the total. So and then you go to the next part, which is the accounting area. There you have to specify the fund or account and program to be used for this PO. And then at the bottom, you'll see the totals. So once everything's entered here, we do next block at the bottom. So in this case, this is the very last part of the PO. So you see two buttons at the end, complete and in process. As you can see, there's a warning at the top, the yellow box that says insufficient budget for sequence one, suspend transaction. The only thing you can do here is put this PO in suspense. Forgot to mention, once we're on the accounting area, the part where you enter the FOPO, the account for the PO, at that point, this form assigns a PO number. You can see the purchase number at the top left corner. So now we have a PO. Okay, since we have a warning here, your option is to put this PO in process, which means that you can leave this form, do some other work, and once you check on your balance or funds for this PO, you can go back to FPA PURR, open this PO number again, and you'll be able to do whatever you need to do. Probably you need to change the FOPO, maybe you need to change the amount or the quantity on the commodities. So you can make changes if you place the PO in process. So once everything is fine, when you don't get a warning, at that point you can complete the PO, which is the second option at the bottom left corner. So once you hit complete and everything is fine, then the PO is routed to the approval process, which means that your supervisors or some other entities need to approve the PO. Okay, once on the approval process, we have two forms. One is FOA AIMP. See, this form indicates where in the process the document is located. Basically, it tells you who needs to approve the document. In this case, you'll see this PO is located in the AS08 queue, and at the bottom you see who are the approvers. You'll see, in this case, it's Dave Drury, the one who needs to approve it, but you will also see those super approver lines. Those are special approvers that will approve documents in special cases. They don't need to approve POs unless they have to. But if Dave Drury approves it, which is the person who has to approve it, then it continues to the process. And also we have the FOI APHT. This is the approval history. This tells us who has approved the document. In this case, this PO needs to be approved by two people. One is Jim McCarty, as you can see it here, and the second one is Dave Drury. In the approval histories here, you can see that Jim McCarty already approved this PO, but now it's waiting for Dave Drury to approve it. So in order to create a PO, we need to have funds. And the way to look at the funds, we go to FGIBABL, Budget Availability Status. Here you need to enter, or shadow accounts and fiscal year, they're automatic. So you just need to enter the fund, the organization, the account, and the program. So once you enter that information, you hit go, and you see for this account 5809, which is the one we're trying to look at, we see the adjusted budget, the commitments, and the available balance. As you can see, we have a budget of $1,500, but we have already committed $165. So that could be another PO or a journal voucher. And we have a $1,335 available for this PO. So we need to create a PO with this amount or less in order to have zero warnings. This is where we can check for the balance.